Hello and welcome to the Clark Athletic Field, here for this doubleheader between the visiting Castleton Spartans and the UMass Boston Beacons. It's good to be back on a softball pitch. I'm Gigi Braga, bringing you today's doubleheader action here from Boston, Massachusetts. Now, it's been a long time since we've been able to have some softball here at UMass Boston. The last time softball took the field was May 4th of 2019. Yes, you heard that right. It's been 715 days since their last game. Basically just shy of 2 weeks from the last time these Beacons stepped on a softball field. Now, Castleton has started their season a little bit earlier. They've already played 10 games this season, but still a little bit fresh here in LEC play. Last time the Beacons were out on the field in 2019 was in the LEC tournament, playing UMass Dartmouth in the semifinals with a 9-1 win in 5 innings to make the 4th straight LEC championship series. Then lost 8-0 to the number 3 ranked Eastern Connecticut State University in the LEC championship. Eastern Connecticut went on to play in the Final Four of the World Series. That was the final game for the seniors at the time for the Beacons. Catcher Roxanne Vento, 2-time LEC Player of the Year and one of the top power hitters in program history. Right fielder Taylor Paulina, for first-team all-conference player. And Alyssa Tully, who was a 4-year starter. Beacons also lost the juniors at the time. Pitcher Jess Greenspan, 2017 LEC Pitcher of the Year and the top pitcher in program history, basically breaking every record here at UMass Boston. They also lost shortstop Gigi Braga, yours truly, 2-time all-conference player. Center fielder Giovanna Bonilla, the 2019 all-conference player, and left fielder Kira Pressmack, who's a 3-year starter for the Beacons. A lot of power and a lot of speed lost in the time for the Beacons. Castleton are returning a good chunk of their lineup as well. They lost 3 players as well, Callie Van Gordon, Tori Swain, and their top pitcher at the time as well. So it'll be interesting to see how today's game plays out. A couple of fresh faces for the Beacons and for the Spartans. A lot going on here. You see there on your screen, Beacons 0-0 overall and 0-0 in LEC play. It is their first game of the season. Castleton 6-4 overall, 3-3 in LEC play. Castleton has already played Keene State, Plymouth State, and Western Connecticut State, as well as UMass Dartmouth. Now, all teams are playing the LEC teams 4 times, with only 2 of them counting as LEC games. The other games are just a little bit of extra play, counting them as just regular season games as well. So we caught up with Coach Natalia Ardagna for the Beacons, going over what she has to say about their season after 715 days of not playing any softball. Let's see what Seth checked in with her right now.
By UMass Boston softball coach Natalia Ardagna. Coach, how's the preseason going?
Any day that we get to step on the field is a great day. So I think the girls are way ahead of where I thought they would be. Their energy has been awesome. Their dedication has been awesome. Like, I can't say enough great things about the way they've been working for the past few weeks. I'm super excited to actually, hopefully step on the field and play a game.
Saturday is 717 days. It's a hard number to wrap your head around. What is that going to mean to you, your coaching staff, your upperclassmen, and even those sophomores who are still trying to play that first collegiate game? It'll be their first game since their senior year of high school.
I think for me personally, I was extremely grateful for my job and, the fact that I'm happy to go to work every day and I love what I'm doing. I didn't really need a pandemic to make me realize that, but here we are. So I just taking it all in and just being grateful for the fact that we get to coach another season. I think for me, that's going to be the biggest thing. From a team perspective and from a coaching perspective, I am so excited. I'm so excited for them. I'm so excited to see them play, to, get them in a competitive game environment. I'm just excited for them to finally get the opportunity to do what they came here to do.
How important are your 3 seniors when you take into account you essentially have 2 classes who have never played a collegiate game? Your junior class was playing behind a lot of upperclassmen during their freshman season. How important have those 3 been just in terms of helping out in practices, but also just in terms of providing some wisdom and leadership to what is a very young team?
The 3 of them have been absolutely unbelievable. They've done such a good job of, just trying to reiterate what our culture is and making sure that, everyone, kind of feels included. And especially with the fact that, they can't do as much team bonding or team building that they usually would, because of the pandemic. So they're trying to be creative and ways that they can kind of get to know each other. The seniors have done an unbelievable job of reaching out to the, underclassmen and trying to make sure that they're adjusting and if they're having problems with things. Every year I look at our senior class and I think, how valuable they are just with the experience and having gone through different scenarios, and especially with these three and the fact that, they have the most experience in postseason, than anybody else in the rest of the team. Our juniors have also done a really great job of stepping up and kind of filling in the gaps. Our seniors sometimes get tied up with classes or internships or clinicals. And our juniors have just, kind of stepped right in and really taken some ownership. So, and that's, partly because our seniors have done such a good job of, maintaining, what the expectations are.
Who are some players who have stood out during preseason who you think might have a big impact this year?
I think Kaylee Ruggiero is definitely going to make an impact. I think last year, if she were given the opportunity, I think she would have been able to kind of step into a more of an impactful role. But I definitely think this year she'll be able to. Tori has also done a really good job of, kind of upping her level of play and working a lot on her mental game. So I feel really confident when she gets in the box, for at bats. Sydney Sandin is stepping in at shortstop, which is obviously, a big position in and of itself, but then to step in, after Gigi Braga is also, a pretty tall task, but she's doing an awesome job. I mean, she has a very different style of play than Gigi, but she's super smart. And I feel like, given a couple of games under her belt, she'll have much better command of the infield.
What kind of mentality do you have to bring to Saturday's game? Castleton's playing game number 11. You're playing game number 1. How do you kind of keep your team mentally in that right headspace?
I think we just, we've been trying to say, we're not going to win a championship on Saturday. We're not, going to make it to the World Series on Saturday. So we just have to take it, inning by inning and just appreciate, the fact that we get the opportunity. And then, also just kind of have a short memory. We got to just take it pitch by pitch, out by out, and really just kind of be in the present. I think that is the best approach for us this weekend. I think looking across the field and seeing that Castleton's played 11 games, that definitely gives them some experience and an advantage. But I think there are things that we have that give us an advantage as well. So, we're trying to look at the negative things and the fact that we've been off the field so long, and trying to look at how we could possibly make that into motivation or a positive going into this weekend.
Coach, I really appreciate your time. Can't wait to see the team on the field on Saturday against Castleton for a double.
Welcome back to live action here in Boston, Massachusetts. Getting ready to bring you the opening pitch here. Some good inspiring words there from Coach Ardagna about the season here for the Beacons. Like Seth said, Castleton playing their 11th game of the season so far, UMass Boston with their first game. Be interesting to see the faces that they bring out. As I had mentioned before, it has been a while since both teams had played each other. There have been 4 meetings between these teams. All have been decided by 5 runs combined. UMass Boston leads the series 3-1. Teams played doubleheaders back in 2018, which did not count as conference play, and then met for the first time in LEC play in 2019. Both teams have led in every game. UMass Boston overcame a 4-run and a 3-run deficit in 2018. Teams split the series in 2019, with each winning run scored in the last at-bat. UMass Boston had 3 walk-offs against Castleton University. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Spartans. So leading off for the Spartans, we have the shortstop, number 11, Katie Lepan. Batting second for the Spartans, the first baseman, Hannah Mosher. In right field, batting third, Miranda Fish. The DP will be Michaela Arjevic. Catching for the Spartans, Jamie Boyle. Playing center field, number 12, Devin Mellerick. And in second base, Allie Aldman. The third baseman for the Spartans will be number 13, Kayla Fack. And batting ninth for the Spartans in left field, Jana Ryan. Now, the lineup for your UMass Boston Beacons. Leading off, the third baseman, Kaylee Ruggiero. Playing second base, the senior, number 8, Kelly Danahy. Sophomore Tam Landry catching for the Beacons. Batting third, freshman Brianna Melconda is the DP. Drew Washington playing right field, batting fifth. Tori DeCenzo playing first base for the Beacons. Batting seventh, Sarah Harlinski in left field. Sydney Sandin playing shortstop for the Beacons. And batting ninth, number 4, Brittany Burkett playing center field. We will pause for the national anthem and be back for the first pitch. My God, it's so windy. Yeah, if you could tell them and us, that would be great. Thank you. Jesus Christ, all my papers going all over the place. God. All right, welcome back to live action here. You see junior Haley Catania throwing a couple pitches here, getting ready for the first pitch. Haley, junior right-hander out of Amesbury, Massachusetts, the only pitcher on the Beacon staff who has seen the pitch here on this team. She's their veteran pitcher at the moment. Player of the year in the Cape Ann League at Amesbury High School, played softball and field hockey there, led her high school to 4 straight Cape Ann League titles. Her freshman year, 20 appearances, 13 starts, second on the team behind Jess Greenspan. Had a 6-6 record, 4.51 ERA, 96.1 innings pitched, 6 complete games, 1 save, 37 strikeouts to 39 walks, 76 strikeouts to 62 walks, actually. Had opponents hitting .318, struck out 5 players for 3 games in a row, threw more than 7 innings twice. So Haley's somebody who you're going to see her fight a little bit. She's got some stamina, and here we have batting for the Spartans. Their leadoff batter, Katie LePan, junior shortstop. First pitch of the game here from Catania will be a ball low. Katie LePan, a junior shortstop out of Hudson Falls, New York. Started in high school as an 8th grader on that team, made the Class A semifinals. Her career, she's played in 48 games with 42 starts. Another low ball that actually hits LePan. So Castleton getting off to an early start here with a runner on first base. Stepping in now for Castleton, number 17, Hannah Mosher, playing first base. Another low ball here from Catania. Quick look defensively here for the Beacons. Cam Landry catching for Catania. Tori DeCenzo at first. Kelly Danahy at second. Sydney Sandin playing shortstop. Kaylee Ruggiero at third. Sarah Harlinski in left. Brittany Burkett in center. And Drew Washington in right field. Catania throws her first strike of the game. 1-1 count here for Mosher. And make that another strike there for Catania, painting that outside corner. Hannah Mosher, a sophomore out of South Glen Falls, New York. Went 1 for 3 against UMass Dartmouth on March 21st with 1 run and an RBI and a double. Puts the ball in play, over to Catania. Over to Sandin, but just a little high from Catania. LePan makes it safely into second base there, sliding. So now we have first and second here for Castleton. Mosher putting the ball in play, making the Beacons work for their outs right now. That was a good play by Catania, trying to turn around and get that lead runner there at second base. Might not be able to see it on your screen right now, but Mosher over there talking to our first base coach, straining at her left leg a little bit. See her over there. Head coach Eric Ramey in his 10th season with Castleton going over to see how his first baseman today is doing. So Mosher being tended to by her coaching staff right now over at first base. Might get a pinch runner coming in here for her. Not something you want to have if you're the Castleton Spartans early on in this game. Second batter to go out right now. And we are going to have a pinch runner here for Mosher. It's going to be number 18, Olivia Bowen, a junior. Coming in, you see Mosher walking gingerly off the field here a little bit. Straining to that left quad muscle is what it appears. That'll bring up Miranda Fish, the right fielder today. Fish, a junior out of Gettsville, New York. Catania throws a strike, painting the outside corner of the plate. Now Tam Landry behind the plate here for the Beacons. She's a weapon, somebody who's not afraid to throw that ball. So Lopan over at second should be careful. Kelly Danahy keeping her nice and close there to the bag. Fish hits it up. Almost makes the catch, running into the fence there. Great effort by Tam Landry on a ball that had a lot of backspin on there. Almost taking out our camera person. Quick on our feet here on our staff. Miranda Fish taking advantage of a couple of pitches that she's seen. No balls, 2 strikes here to Fish. Ball low, and you see Landry throwing that ball over, making sure that Lopan stays close to that bag. Tam Landry, just a sophomore, didn't get a chance to play in her freshman year due to COVID-19 restrictions. Coach Ardagna calling out the plays and the pitches here for UMass Boston. Catania throws a curveball outside. Evens the count out to 2-2. And we got a full count here on Miranda Fish. Haley Catania really having to work here. Runners on first and second here in the first inning for the Beacons. Payoff pitch right now. Fish puts it in play. Sandin over to third base for Ruggiero. Great play by Sydney Sandin. Only a sophomore, her first actual collegiate game. Didn't get a chance to play in her freshman year back in 2020. Now on the field, her first ball that she gets. Nice little shovel pass over to Kaylee Ruggiero, who plays that bag perfectly, getting Katie Lopan out at third base. We have 1 out with the DP for Castleton coming up to bat right now, Michaela Arjevic. Catania throws in a nice strike right down the middle, getting ahead of the count here on Arjevic. Arjevic, as a junior this year, 10 starts, hitting .333, tied for first on the team, a .419 on-base percentage, which is second on the team. Takes a hit on that one, right over to Ruggiero, steps on 3, throws over to first, make that a double play! Kaylee Ruggiero, the junior, getting her pitcher out of a sticky situation with a great double play there. Beacons get out of that first inning unscathed. We'll be back right after this for the Beacons' first at-bats. Welcome back here to the Clark Athletic Field. as we get ready for the Beacons to take their first at-bats. Katie Gallagher on the mound here for the Spartans. Gallagher, a freshman out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, going to school up in Castleton, Vermont. Long way from home there for her. Went to Cuthbertson High School as a freshman, made 6 appearances. There's a 1.17 ERA, best on the team right now. Junior Kaylee Ruggiero steps up for the plate for her first at-bat. Low ball from Gallagher, almost clipping Ruggiero's left foot there. Gallagher, like I said, 1.71 ERA, 16.1 innings pitched, second on the team, behind Olivia Joy. 1 save, 12 strikeouts, 9 walks, allowing 14 hits, 4 runs. Opponents hitting .222 off of Gallagher. Second ball high there. Good hold by Ruggiero. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here with the scoreboard. Thank you guys for bearing with us here. Third ball a little high. Great eye there by Kaylee Ruggiero, making Gallagher work. Not swinging at anything above or below her strike zone. Something that Coach Ardagna and Coach Joshua Bartley really looking for their players to focus on here. 3-0 pitch to Ruggiero. Gallagher throws a strike. Ruggiero swings at it, looks to be out of play, and it is. Gallagher winds up for the pitch and make that the first walk of the day for Katie Gallagher. Ruggiero trots over to first base. Senior Kelly Danahy stepping up to the plate. One of the 4 players who's seen experience here on this team, playing second base her entire career as a freshman, making the first team all-conference. A really sound defensive player, somebody who's got pop off her bat as well. Takes her first pitch strike. Ruggiero with a good lead off of first base there. Danahy getting her signs from assistant coach Joshua Bartley in his 15th season here with the Beacons. Danahy, somebody who can bunt well, can hit even better. And there she squares up for the bunt, pulls back. Great control there by Danahy. She's got great eyes, not bunting at anything outside of the strike zone. Kayla Fack, the third baseman for Castleton, playing really in close here, expecting Danahy to bunt. Danahy swings at a pitch right in the triangle there. Great catch by the shortstop, Katie LePan for Castleton. So Danahy pops up, giving some instruction there to Tame Landry on what she saw out of Gallagher. Ruggiero on her way back to first base. Sophomore Tam Landry stepping up to the plate for the Beacons. Takes a strike inside. Great pitch there by Gallagher. Landry, a sophomore catcher out of Leominster, Massachusetts. Played softball and field hockey at Leominster High School. Takes a pitch high, 1-1 the count. 4-year varsity player in softball, 2-time All-League player, also an All-Star in field hockey. She's been taking reps at third base just in case they want to give her a rest from being behind the plate. A very versatile player for Coach Ardagna and the Beacons. Winds up into great contact there by Tam Landry, but an even better play by Jane Orion, the left fielder for the Spartans. That ball was hit very hard and on a direct line, curving a little bit to Ryan's right, but she gets a great beat on that ball for the second out for the Spartans. Now stepping up to bat for the Beacons, their freshman DH, Bree Melchionda, number 12 here. Maybe look for Bree to also be pitching here. She hits and pitches for the Beacons, a very versatile player. Coach Ardagna really excited to have her on the roster here, somebody who can do a lot at the plate and also in the circle for the Beacons. Takes a ball outside. 2-0 here on Melchionda. Brianna Melchionda from Marshfield, Massachusetts, and Atlantic Coast All-Star League as a sophomore and a junior. Takes another pitch here, swings at it a little high, hits it foul. 2-1 the count here on Melchionda. How about this? A Boston Globe All-Scholastic honors as a sophomore in high school. Coming in here as a freshman, throws righty, bats lefty here for the Beacons. Ruggiero waiting on first base. Pitch from Gallagher. Outside. 3-1 count here on Melchionda. Good eye from the freshman. Both pitchers struggling a little bit to hit the strike zone here early on in the game. Three and one pitch here from Gallagher. Out of the zone, Melchionda swings at it, up in the air. Castleton looks to have a beat on it, and it's a fair ball. Ruggiero getting around from third base, slides, safe! What a great play by Kaylee Ruggiero, and UMass Boston gets on the board first off an RBI triple by Bree Melchionda. What a play there by the freshman. Great smarts by the junior, Kaylee Ruggiero. As soon as that ball was hit, she knew she had 2 outs, took off running. Allie Allman struggling a little bit with the wind here in Boston right off the harbor. That ball swirling, hitting into fair territory. Coach Joshua Bartley telling Ruggiero to get on her way home on her horse. Great throw from Allman, though, just not in time. Jamie Boyle with a great play there behind the plate as well. So it's 1-0 UMass Boston. Melchionda at third base. 2 outs here for senior Drew Washington. Washington playing right field today. Ball low here on Washington. Drew Washington, one of the only other players on the team from 2019 that saw some action there. Kelly Danahy, Tori DeCenzo, Drew Washington, and Haley Catania, the 4 players on this Beacons team who saw real action in the past couple of years here. Drew Washington steps up to the plate from Bordentown, New Jersey, looking to score her teammate Melchionda on third. Gets another pitch there, swings at it, foul behind the plate. One of Washington's best at-bats of her career thus far against Eastern Connecticut State University in the LEC finals against Morgan Baldock. Hit the only hit of the game for the Beacons, ruining Baldock's no-hitter. Swings at another pitch here, hits it foul again. Gallagher winds up for the pitch here. Throws it and strikes out Washington. Great pitch there by Katie Gallagher to get her team out of this inning. 1-0 UMass Boston. We'll be back right after this for inning number 2. Welcome back here to the Beacons Broadcast Network. My name is Gigi Braga, bringing you action here from Boston, Massachusetts. Inning number 2, Haley Catania in the circle for the Beacons, and stepping up to the plate for Castleton, number 16, Jamie Boyle. First pitch of the inning here from Catania, a strike. Boyle, a junior from Paulnell, Vermont, went to Mount Anthony Union High School. Played against UMass Boston Beacon Brittany Burkett in high school, actually. Her career here with the Spartans, 46 games played, 43 starts, a .318 batting average, .488 slugging percentage, 31 RBIs with 11 doubles. Catania throws a ball low. Great stop there by Taylor Landry behind the plate. Good patience we're seeing here from some of these Castleton hitters. Catania winds up. Great hit there by Boyle. Tailing left. Hits the fence. Boyle running into second base, getting in there safely. And how about that? Leading off the second inning with a double is Jamie Boyle. Got a great beat on that ball there. Just shy of going out for a home run for the Spartans catcher. Hit right off the wall there, sorry. Sarah Harlinski playing left field for the Beacons. Getting that ball in quickly to her shortstop, Sydney Sandin. And now we have number 12, Devin Mellerick, the center fielder, squares up to bunt, drops a nice one there. Ruggiero quick to it, throws over to first base. Kelly Danahy there for the out. A sac bunt by Devin Mellerick. Mellerick with the first out of the inning. Moves Boyle over to third base. That brings up Allie Allman, the second baseman. Pitch from Catania inside and a strike. Castleton responding quick, being down 1-0 here in the second inning. Getting a runner early on over to third base. Great sac bunt there by Devin Mellerick, senior center fielder for the Spartans. Catania with a ball, little miscommunication there on who's going to get it. Ruggiero went for it, left it for Sandin. Sydney making a great stop there. Allie Allman ends up on first base with an infield hit. That's a good play there by Sandin. She lets that ball go through. Probably will score Jamie Boyle with that ball into the outfield there. Diving out there for that ball, saving a run. Now we got runners on first and third for Castleton with Kayla Fack, the third baseman, up. Catania with a pitch. Fack swings at the first one she sees, hits it foul. And a hit fly ball out to right center. Burkett on it. Boyle will tag. Great throw by Brittany Burkett. Not in time to get Jamie Boyle, and just like that, Kayla Fack with a sac hit to center field, and we have a tie game. 2 outs here for the Beacons. Brings up Gina Ryan, the left fielder. Strike here from Catania. Great pitch there by Catania. Little fastball in the outer corner of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes here. Allie Allman on first base. Gina Ryan up at the plate. 2 outs for the Beacons and a tie game. Landry checks Almond over at first base. Catania winds up for the pitch. A changeup. Gets away from Landry. Ryan swung on it. Runs over to first base. Landry with a great reaction play. Throws the ball over to the first baseman, Tori DeCenzo. DeCenzo tags out Ryan for the third out of the inning. Castleton with a double to lead off that inning from Jamie Boyle. Sack bunt by Devin Miller getting over to third. Allie Almond getting an infield single. And Kayla Fack with an RBI sack fly over to center field, making this a 1-1 game. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back here from Boston, Massachusetts. UMass Boston 1, Castleton University 1. Senior Tori DeCenzo stepping up to the plate for her first at-bat in 715 days. Swings on the first pitch she sees. Castleton so far in the day, 2 hits with only 1 for UMass Boston, but also leaving 2 left on base. Second pitch here from Gallagher. A strike called by home plate umpire. Home plate umpire for today's game, Ron Vargas. Field ump, Dave Maestri. DeCenzo down on the count, 0-2. Swings and get a piece of that pitch. Tori DeCenzo, player who, if she gets her bat on the ball, it can go very, very far. Also somebody who sometimes gets a little eager on a couple of pitches. Good eye there and good hold. Gallagher trying to throw a couple pitches outside of the zone, seeing if DeCenzo will chase. When you're ahead in the count like she is, something totally understandable to do. We'll see what the Spartans choose to throw next. Pop up over to left field. Ryan has a beat on it, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So DeCenzo flies out to left field for the first out, bringing on junior Sarah Harlinski, left fielder for the Beacons here today. First pitch strike here on Harlinski. Harlinski, a player who her freshman year batted from the left side of the plate here. A slapper, somebody who also had power. Converted over to the right side, looking for a little bit more pop in this Beacons lineup. Very versatile player here in Harlinski, somebody who provides good speed on the bases as well. Gallagher gets the pitch, winds up, throws it. Harlinski with a little bloop over into left center field. Gets herself a twin at bat there. Hits a really good ball right in that little Bermuda triangle between the left fielder, center fielder, and shortstop. Ball finds the grass before it finds the glove, and Harlinski finds herself over at first base. This brings up sophomore Sydney Sandin playing shortstop for the Beacons. Sydney, a freshman last year. No season there for her. This is her first collegiate at-bat for UMass Boston. Swings at the first pitch she sees. Down on the count, 0-1. Gets the call from Coach Joshua Bartley. Harlinski with some speed over there on first base. Gallagher throws a pitch high. Sandin goes for it. Gallagher's done a very good job of mixing up her pitches. She'll throw a couple fastballs, a couple of off-speed pitches. Likes to mix it up in the zone. Not somebody who's going to throw consistent strikes in the strike zone, but she will throw strikes and get hitters to chase after her. Throws another one. Sandin gets a beat on it. Great catch and a double play for Castleton. Great play by the shortstop, Katie LePan. Caught Sarah Harlinski slipping there a little bit. Made contact. Could have been a hit and run there. For all we know, Harlinski was right off the bag as soon as that pitch was thrown. Katie LePan making a great catch and doubling her off with a throw to first base. Still 1-1 here, getting ready for the top of the third. Top of the third inning here. Katie LePan, double play defensively, steps up into the box here for her second at-bat of the day. Catania getting the pitch from Coach Ardagna. Winds up, throws a ball low and inside. LePan last time up, hit by a pitch on the second pitch of the game. Left on base over at third base. Catania, nice low strike there. Two and one count here on Katie LePan. Pan evens the count now with a foul ball there. Katie LePan, junior shortstop, her freshman year in 2019. Second team all-conference at second base, playing 30 games with 25 starts. .338 batting average that year. As a sophomore, season cut short due to COVID. 6 games, 5 starts, still at second base. Hits a high fly ball over to right field. Drew Washington running on it. Hard for us to see here from this angle, but I believe that ball went foul as we see Katie LePan running back to get her bat. 2-2 count here on LePan. Swings at another one. High foul ball, out of play. And LePan swings at another one. This time, Ruggiero in foul play makes the catch for the first out of the third inning. This brings up Hannah Mosher. Oh, excuse me, it's not Anna Mosher. She got injured, but another hit over there to Ruggiero makes a great play with a nice little ground ball there. Fields it with her glove hand. Nice transfer over to Tori DeCenzo to get the second out of the inning. That was Olivia Bowen. Excuse me, as we remember Hannah Mosher hit into a single. Might have pulled her quad at that point. Another pitch here. This time to Miranda Fish. Out of play behind the plate. Fish last time hit it to the shortstop. Sydney Sandin with a fielder's choice, flipping it over to Kaylee Ruggiero for the second out of the first inning. Steps in one more time here in the third inning. Fish hits into right center field. Brittany Burkett gets the grab there, and that's 3 outs in the inning for UMass Boston. Quick 1-2-3 inning for the third inning, and we'll see UMass Boston come up to bat in the bottom of the third. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcast Network here on LEC TV. Bottom of the third inning for the Beacons. Up to bat, number 4, Brittany Burkett, playing center field today for the Beacons. The only true lefty slapper on this Beacons roster. Burkett providing good speed on the bases, somebody who can drop down a lethal bunt. As you see the Castleton infield playing in on Burkett. Shortstop Katie LePan basically playing lined up with Gallagher next to the circle. Allie Ullman at second base playing a little farther back. And Burkett aims to bunt slap a little there. Seems like if Burkett bunts, LePan will be the one to charge it instead of Fack at third base. Gallagher with the 0-1 pitch. Burkett with a nice swing over to second base. Gets it over. Takes a turn on first with the bobble by Devin Mellerick in center field. Burkett finds herself at second base. Great start here in the third inning for the Beacons. That's got to be a good feeling there for Burkett. You show bunt in your first pitch that you see. Try to draw that infield in a little bit. Second pitch stands up there nice and tall. Rips a ball through the infield, out of the reach of Almond, into center field. A little bobbled by Devin Mellerick. Perquette, somebody who's got a lot of speed on her, takes advantage of that little mistake and finds her way at second base. Bringing up Kaylee Ruggiero. Ruggiero swings at the first pitch she sees. Well, one pitch here by Gallagher. Squares to bunt. Up in the air. Good play there by the first baseman for Castleton. Olivia Bowen now. And that's an out that if you're the Beacons, you don't want to see that happen. On a bunt like that, you're trying to use your knees, really, not your hands, to get you where you want to go. That high pitch there by Gallagher. Good placement by her, getting Ruggiero to pop that ball up. Makes an out here for the Spartans. Bringing Kelly Danhe to the plate. Change up there by Gallagher. Low. Perquette with a good lead off of second there. Danhe, somebody who can bunt very well as well. Don't think she will here. Beacons would like to use her power here to potentially get an RBI single. Danhe swings at the second pitch she sees, tailing foul, and it will land in foul territory. Another chance at life here for Kelly Danhe. Gallagher with a pitch. Outside on Danhe. Two and one count here on Kelly Danhe. Make that 3-1. High ball from Gallagher. Kelly Danhe, senior second baseman from Kingston, Massachusetts. Brother Cam plays football at Westfield State. A lot of athleticism in that family. And a low ball there. Kelly Danhe earns a walk over to first base. First and second here for the Beacons. One out with their catcher, Tam Landry, stepping up to the plate. First pitch here for Landry. Swings at it. Hits it directly back. Foul. Kayla Fack, third baseman for Castleton, playing close to the bag here. See if she can get a step on one, throw to the other. Double play here. Be very ideal for Castleton. The second pitch. Landry with a shot to center field. Mellerick grabs it. Perquette tagging at second, makes her way safely over to third. Danhe follows. That was a deep fly ball there to center field by Tam Landry. Mellerick with a catch, making that the second out. Runners advance to second and third. That brings out Bree Melchianda, freshman DH out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. Bree in her first at-bat of her collegiate career for the Beacons, hitting an RBI triple. Not a bad way to start your career collegiately. Swings at the first pitch she sees. Fly ball. Caught by Katie LePan. Good beat on it there. Mellerick running in on that play. LePan backing up on it. Good communication between the two players. LePan ends up making the basket catch for the third out of the inning. Castleton gets out of that with runners on second and third unscathed. Still 1-1. Welcome back to the fourth inning here between UMass Boston and Castleton University in Game 1 of this LEC doubleheader. Haley Catania still on the mound here for the Beacons. Castleton's DP, Michaela Arjevic, stepping into the box here. Last time up in the first inning, hit into a 5-3 double play. And swings at the first pitch she sees. Line drive to center field. Perquette fields it, throws it into Kelly Danahy, and Arjevic finds herself at first base. Scorch that ball right between Catania and Sandin. Jamie Boyle steps up to the plate for the Spartans. First pitch she sees swinging. Foul ball. Boyle with a double her last time up. Ran around the bases and ended up scoring for Castleton, the only run of the game so far for the Spartans. Swings at it again. Little ball. Catania leaps for it, makes the catch. Very athletic play there from your pitcher if you're the Beacons. Catania laughing it off there as she thought she was going to have to dive for it. Ended up just reaching a little bit, makes the catch. Good communication between her and catcher Tan Landry. That brings up center fielder Devin Mellerick. First pitch high from Catania. Mellerick with a sac bunt last time up. And a ball out, a strike outside. Fastball outside from Catania. Evens the count at 1-1 for Mellerick. Mellerick, as a senior, 10 starts, 214 average. Hits it over to Danahy, over to second to Sandin for the out. Gets the lead runner there. Little ground ball over to Kelly Danahy. Fields it nicely, shovels it over to Sydney Sandin for the second out. Gets Arjevic out at second base. Mellerick ends up at first. Brings up Allie Almond. Hit an infield single last time to the shortstop. First ball low. Landry checks the runner over at first. Safe. Good check there by Landry. Devin Mellerick, somebody who's got good wheels in 2019. Tied for first in the LEC in steals with Gigi Braga. This year, no stolen bases for Mellerick thus far. Low ball there on Allie Almond. Almond, a freshman second baseman from Proctor, Vermont. Won the City Major League softball championship as a freshman. Pops it up over to the second baseman. Danahy makes the catch in foul territory for the third out of the inning. Beacons get out of the inning there unscathed as well. It's still 1-1 here in Boston, Massachusetts. Bottom of the fourth here at UMass Boston. Senior Drew Washington steps up for her second at bat. Strikeout swinging in the first. Katie Gallagher putting in good work for the Spartans on the mound. And Drew Washington swings at her first pitch. High fly ball over to left field. Ryan with a good beat on it makes the catch. First out of the fourth inning for the Beacons. This brings up Tori DeCenzo, the first baseman, who also happens to be Drew Washington's roommate. Senzo flied out to left field last time, does the same this time. Jana Ryan making the catch. A lot of first pitch swinging here in the bottom of the fourth for the Beacons. Sarah Harlinski now. Single to left last time. Harlinski swinging on the first pitch here in foul territory. And it will go out foul. Katie Gallagher last time in Game 2 against Plymouth State University came on for the final 4 innings. Allowed 4 hits, no runs, with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. Throws a ball here to Sarah Harlinski. Gallagher winds up for the pitch. Harlinski hits it foul. Gallagher has pitched 2 innings or more in every appearance. 4 innings pitched is her max. This is the bottom of the fourth here. Interesting to see if Castleton will bring her out for the 5th. Thus far, she has done a great job of containing the Beacons to just 1 run. There's a pitch here. Harlinski swings at it again. Out of play. Harlinski, a healthcare worker for the Beacons during COVID. Swings at the pitch she sees. Liner out to right field. What a great catch out there by the right fielder, Miranda Fish. Ball had some good pace on there. Fish had it tracked down perfectly. No hits, no runs scored for the Beacons in the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the 5th inning here at the Clark Athletic Field. Third baseman Kayla Fax stepping up to the plate for the Spartans. Junior out of Watertown, Connecticut. Played 40 games in her career with 32 starts. Career 197 batting average, 247 on base percentage. Catania's first pitch high out of the zone for a ball. Played left field as a freshman for the Spartans. Made the transition to third base as a sophomore. Now in her junior season, has been 0 for 8 in the last 5 games here. Takes a strike from Catania. 0 for 8 in her last 5, but with a sac fly RBI to score Boyle in the 2nd inning. Swings at a pitch there. Little blooper over to Ruggiero. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. This brings up Jana Ryan, left fielder. Made some good catches out there in left today. Senior from Rockville, Rhode Island. Looks to slap there, gets a piece of the ball, but it goes foul. Has started her last 8 games for the Spartans. Hit a game-winning 2-run double in the 5th inning against Western Connecticut State University in Game 2 on March 27th. And slaps again, this one foul another time. Ryan in 2019 against Haley Catania went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in Game 2. One of the lefty slappers here in the order for the Spartans. 0-2 the count on Ryan. Nice hold there on the changeup by Catania. Ball outside. Looked like a good pitch from this angle. Home plate umpire Ron Vargas calls it a ball. Ryan slaps another ball foul. 2-2 the count here. 1 out in the top of the 5th. Another pitch here by Catania. Did she go? No, she did not. Looked good for a minute there on Ryan. Landry asking the home plate umpire to check with the field ump. Dave Maestri says that Ryan did not go. So we'll get a full count here. And a ball low. Catania issued a walk to Jana Ryan. Great at bat there by Ryan, fouling off multiple pitches by Catania. Catania pounding that outside part of the zone there on Ryan, trying to get her to swing. Almost got her on a couple of times, but Ryan works a great walk. Gets over to first base. Top of the order here for the Spartans, Katie LePan, the shortstop, up. Katie LePan hit by a pitch in the first inning, flew out to the third baseman in the third. Landry checks Ryan over at first base. Ryan gets back safely. Katie LePan has hit safely in 5 games this year. 1 hit out of 4. She's 1 for 9. And drives a ball out to right center field. Perquette unable to catch it. Ryan being waved over to third base, being waved home right now. LePan will hold it second. Throw over home. Not enough. And Landry throws it over to Ruggiero at third base. Not enough time to get LePan. So Katie LePan with an RBI double. Perquette threw the ball into Danahy. Danahy thought she had enough time to get Ryan at home. Makes the throw to Landry. Not in time to get Ryan. Landry throws the ball to Ruggiero. And Katie LePan finds herself at third base here with Olivia Bowen up. And a strike there by Catania. That was great base running by LePan. Held up at second base, saw that Danahy was going to make that throw home, took advantage of the time that she had, made her way to third base safely. And Bowen over to third base. Ruggiero holds the runner at third and gets Bowen out at first base. Very heads-up play there by Kaylee Ruggiero. Not to get too eager. Making that throw over to first base. Checks the runner back at third base. Keeps her held up right there and still gets the out. Good arm there by Kaylee Ruggiero. Good heads-up play as well. Miranda Fish, the right fielder, steps up for the Spartans. She'll take a first pitch strike from Catania. Fish pops it up to the shortstop. Sandin right under it, makes the catch. So the Spartans take the lead here with an RBI double from Katie LePan to score Jana Ryan off a walk. Spartans up 2-1 here in the 5th inning. Back here on the campus of UMass Boston, and we see Katie Gallagher out in the 5th inning. This is her first time pitching 5 innings in her career for the Spartans. Sydney Sandin, the shortstop for the Beacons, steps up to the plate. Takes a first pitch strike from Gallagher. Sandin, last time up, hit into a 6-3 double play. Sandin with a sister who also plays softball over at UConn. Another very athletic family. Swings at the second pitch she sees. Out of play behind the plate. She's down in the count 0-2. Sandin, a very athletic player for the Beacons. Last year, with Braga at short, Sandin looking to get a roll in at third base, a player who has a lot of range and a very good arm. Also a very high softball IQ, transitions over to the shortstop position with Braga graduating and Ruggiero playing third base for the Beacons this year. Holds on that pitch on the outside. 1-2 here for the sophomore. And Sandin rips the ball foul. Pitch here from Gallagher. Change it up. Low in the dirt. Sandin holds. Pitch here by Gallagher. Sandy doing a great job of fouling off pitches that she doesn't like. Looking to make Gallagher work harder and give her a nice pitch that she can swing, but Gallagher painting the plate in multiple different places, throwing her outside, low, inside. Another pitch here. Sandin swings, high pop up into the infield. Almond makes the catch there for the first out of the inning. Brittany Burkett up now to the plate for the Beacons. Hit a double her last time up. Line drive shot through the second baseman. Looks to bunt here and drops down a perfect bunt. Fields the play there, but just not in time. That was a very close play there at first base. Good throw by Bowen, but not enough time to get the speedy Burkett over there at first base. And when I mentioned that Burkett can drop down a lethal bunt, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Drops her bat, the ball right in within Bowen's reach, but with the speed that Burkett has, it makes it tough on every catcher to try to get that runner out. Bowen had a great beat on that play. Made a great throw, just not in time to get Burkett. Very close play there at first base. Brings up the top of the order here for the Beacons and Kaylee Ruggiero. Ruggiero swings at the first pitch. Assistant coach Joshua Bartley calling out play for his players here. Burkett's got good speed. We saw how she got on base. Interesting to see if she'll take a swipe at second. Burkett not going. Ruggiero swinging. Kaylee Ruggiero walk in the first inning. Popped up to the first baseman on a bunt in the third inning. Looking for a chance to get her first hit of the game here. Gallagher with the pitch. Low on the ground. Paquette not going. Taking a big lead on there on first. Trying to challenge Bowen's arm a little bit. One out in the bottom of the fifth for the Beacons. Top of the order up. Pitch there, Ruggiero hits it right in the 5-6 hole. Paquette moves over to second base, and Kaylee Ruggiero's got her first hit of the season. Goes with that inside pitch that Gallagher threw to her right into the 5-6 hole, unable for LePan to make a play on that. And now we've got runners on first and second here for the Beacons. One out. Senior captain Kelly Danahy coming up to the plate. Bowen will ask for a timeout, and we'll have a meeting here in the circle. Trying to discuss a little bit of a game plan here. It's been a close game in these 5 innings that we've had so far. With a player like Danahy up to bat, somebody who's a lefty, can drop down a good bunt, willing to sacrifice her at bat in order to move her players over. I don't think that that's what they'll do. Head coach Eric Ramey out there to talk to his team right now. Beacons have been known to run the double steal a couple of times. Maybe not with the lefty up, giving Bowen complete access to throw to the third baseman. But with the speed that Paquette has on second base, Coach Josh Bartley is not afraid to run a couple of sneaky plays there. Kelly Danahy, a first-team all-conference player at second base as a freshman, started every game in her first 2 years. Freshman year back in 2018, hit .381. She led UMass Boston in batting average that year. .435 on base percentage, second on the team back in 2018. .484 slugging percentage. Scored 21 runs, 3 for 4 on stolen bases. Had 2 7-game hitting streaks as a freshman. Against Castleton in 2018, she was 5 for 6 with 2 runs, 1 RBI, and a walk. As a sophomore, she started 43 games, tied for first in the single season in program history. Hit .217 as a sophomore. Looking to rack up a couple more RBIs here for Danahy. Gallagher gets the sign from Bowen. Lines up. Oh, hits Danahy! Right in the helmet, and we have the bases loaded here for UMass Boston. Danahy not moving out of the way of that pitch, sacrificing her body there. That's why we wear helmets. Gallagher maybe slipped a pitch there on her hand. I don't think it was her intention to necessarily hit Danahy here. With Tam Landry coming up to the plate. Somebody who's got lots and lots of pop on her bat. Coach Ardagna says that she's a great player, has got a great eye, a consistent hitter for the Beacons. We'll see what she can do here with the bases loaded. Swings at her first pitch. Little pop-up flare over to LePan. Steps on second. Ruggiero back to the bag. Very, very heads-up play there by veteran shortstop Katie LePan. Landry probably wishing she could have that at-bat back. Now we got 2 outs here. Freshman Bree Melconda up to bat. Melconda an RBI triple her first time up. Takes a ball outside. Second time up, flew out to the shortstop. Paquette on third, Ruggiero on second, Danahy on first. Melchionda up to bat. Swings at that pitch. Line drive over to left field. And Jana Ryan doesn't have to move far to make that catch and cut the Beacons run a little short here. 2-1 Spartans getting ready for the top of the 6th inning. Welcome back to the top of the 6th inning here. Very close game between both of these LEC teams. Spartans leading 2-1 at the moment. Looking to tack on a couple more runs here as they have their cleanup hitter up to bat, Michaela Arjevic. Hit into a 5-3 double play in the 1st inning. Singled into left center in the 4th inning. Catania still on the mound here for the Beacons. Gets the sign from Coach Ardagna. Throws. Arjevic pops that one foul. Fighting off that inside pitch there. Arjevic against UMass Boston in 2019 went 5 for 5 with a run scored, 2 RBIs and a double. And lays off that ball low there from Catania. Junior so far this year, 10 starts, 333 average, first on the team. 2 multi-hit games. She had the game-winning RBI against UMass Dartmouth on March 21st. And swings at that one, foul. And we'll come back and do it again. For the Spartans, this is their 2nd full season in the LEC. They were formerly in the North Athletic Conference. They won the title in 2016, made the finals in 2014 and 17. They were finished tied 8th in the LEC with Rhode Island College, a 4-10 record. Although with wins over UMass Boston as well. Arjevic hits that one into left field, and it lands on the ground. She's got a single here to start the top of the 6th for the Spartans. And we are going to see a pinch runner here for Arjevic. It will be number 2, Erin Ricks. This brings up Jamie Boyle. Had a double and a run in the 1st and flew out to the catcher in the 4th inning. Takes a strike here from Catania. Pinch runner Erin Ricks, sophomore from Saugerties, New York, at first base. Freshman year, played in 3 games, made a start, had 1 run scored in her collegiate debut against King's College. And a strike there from Catania. Landry checks the runner. Ricks gets back safe. If you're coming into the game as a pinch runner, something you don't want to do is get picked off at any bag, really, especially not first base. Catania gets the pitch. Winds up. Deals a ball. Fly ball over into left field. It lands. And that's a single there for Jamie Boyle. Kind of in no man's land. Too far back for Sandin or Ruggiero to make a play. Sarah Harlinski playing a true position over there in left field. Not enough time for her to get to that ball. Great little blooper there by Jamie Boyle. Kind of jammed her a little bit. Catania throwing an inside pitch. Boyle with enough strength to get that right over the head of the third baseman. Falls just in fair territory, bringing up the center fielder, Devin Mellerick. And she bunts, and it's foul. Squares up for the bunt there. Catania throwing what looked like a curveball. Coming pretty close in there to Mellerick's face. Puts her bat in front of it. Bunts it foul. Mellerick with a sac bunt in the first inning. Fielder's choice. Bunts again. Gets it down. Ruggiero with the play. Throws it over to Danahy. Gets the runner out at first base. Danahy checks over to third. Sydney Sandin there for it. And Mellerick with another bunt today, moving the runners to second and third. Catania with the first pitch strike. One out here for the Spartans. Runners on second and third. That's Ricks and Boyle. Catania throws a ball. Landry checks the runner. Ricks doing a really good job of getting back to that bag. And pitch here by Catania. Called a ball there. Allie Almond up to bat here for the Spartans. Second baseman here for Castleton. Looking to get a couple RBIs under her name with this at-bat. Hits that pitch. Line shot foul over to right field. Allman went 1 for 4 with a 2-run single in the 9th inning of her college debut against UMass Dartmouth. It's been 0 for 11 in the next 4 games. Hits that one just off the glove of Catania. A run will score, and she'll be safe at first base. Allie Almond making some good contact there on that ball just off the glove of Catania. Slowed it down a bit. Danahy barehanded that ball. Not enough time to throw it over to DeCenzo. Almond with some good speed. Finds her way in first base and scores. Erin Ricks. So that moves Boyle over to third base. Almond over at first. And Kayla Fack up to bat. Fack swinging at the first pitch she sees. Foul off the right field side. First and third situation here for UMass Boston. They've only got 1 out. Likely will probably check the runner at third base. Might let Almond take that chance at second base if she goes for the steal. We'll see what they play. Good pitch there. Wonderful changeup by Haley Catania. Trying to mix up some speeds here for these Castleton hitters. Sandin playing straight up at short. You're not seeing her move over to second, anticipating the steal from Almond. Typically when you've got a runner on first base, you'd see your shortstop shade a little bit more closer to second base, anticipating the steal. Seeing Sandin playing straight up here. Don't think UMass Boston is expecting Almond to steal. She has no stolen bases so far this year. Catania with the pitch here. Pop up. Sandin, perfect place at the right time. Playing straight up in her position, allows her to get over there. Makes that catch. 2 outs. Jana Ryan steps up here for Castleton. On the ground here, Landry can't find it. Ball goes, what I believe is out of play. Landry comes back, throws over to second base. A run will score on that wild pitch by Catania. Ball in the dirt there, got right past Landry. Allowed Boyle to score. Great anticipation there by Jamie Boyle. That's the thing about having lefty slappers, or even when you're bunting up there at the plate, you square up for that, kind of get your bat in the catcher's eye a little bit, try to distract them from seeing where the ball is. Landry, good catcher, still new at that position, and called strike there for Catania. Four to 1 here, Spartans in the top of the 6th. Fack slaps it over to Danahy. Ground ball over to first base, gets the 3rd out of the inning. And with that, the Spartans add 2 more to the board. 4 to 1, Castleton. Gallagher back out there on the mound for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 6th inning. She's done very well of mixing up her pitches today. Beacons making some good contact off of Gallagher, but her defense backing her up, making some much needed plays out there on the field. Doesn't matter if they make contact as long as your defense is making the plays. And that's exactly what the Spartans have been doing to back up their freshman pitcher, Katie Gallagher. This brings up Drew Washington, the right fielder for the Beacons. Washington holds on that pitch. Good changeup there by Gallagher. Washington 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a fly out to left field. And Washington swings on that one. High fly ball over to right center field, drops. Washington rounds her way over to second base, wheeling her way over to third base. Drew Washington's got some speed, finds herself with a stand-up triple. The senior right fielder from Bordentown, New Jersey. What a way to get the bottom of the 6th inning started here for the Beacons. Shoots the arrow over. And now you get Tori DeCenzo, the first baseman up here for the Beacons, trying to bat her roommate in to make this a 4-2 game. Drew Washington, somebody who's got good pop off her bat, hit the pitch exactly where it was thrown. Outside pitch, hits it over to right center. She's got wheels on her as well. Tori DeCenzo swings at the first pitch she sees. High fly ball over to the right side. Allie Allman trying to make that play in foul territory, unable to do so. So we'll do it again. We've seen a bit of pop here from these Beacons hitter, just unable to string multiple hits together to get their runners to touch home plate. DeCenzo sits on a changeup, takes it as a strike. Great pitch there by Gallagher. You saw her throw that to Drew Washington. Ended up being just a little bit inside. This time works in her favor to DeCenzo. 0-2 the count here on the senior first baseman. And she swings and misses. Strikeout there for Gallagher. Just her second strikeout of the day, but in a timely fashion. Brings up Sarah Harlinski. Single to left in the second inning, flew out to right in the fourth. Swings at the first pitch she sees, foul and out of play. Harlinski, somebody who can bunt well. Don't think the Beacons will play a suicide squeeze right here, right now, with a 3-run deficit in the bottom of the sixth. Harlinski sits on that pitch high. Works herself a 1-1 count. And another high pitch there. 2-1 count to Harlinski. Pitch here by Gallagher. Harlinski turns on that. Spartans wanted that pitch. 3-1 count here to Harlinski. Gets the sign from Coach Bartley. And I know that he definitely told her, you swing on a pitch that's got to be perfect. Gallagher winds up, deals. Harlinski swings at that high over to right field. Could be a chance for a sac hit. Washington tagging. Throw over home. Washington slides in safe. Harlinski with the sac fly over to right field. Drew Washington leaving at the right time, sliding in home. The throw from right field from Fish, just not in time, over to Bowen. 4-2 here, bottom of the sixth. Castleton still out in front. Beacons battling their way into this game. Sydney Sandin grounded out into a double play in the second inning. Wanted to swing at that, held her swing. Good decision there by her. Ball in the dirt by Gallagher. Flew out to the second baseman in the fifth inning. Looking to get her first official collegiate hit here, sophomore Sydney Sandin. Swings at that pitch, ropes it foul. Would have taken somebody's head off there if it was a little bit lower. Coach Ardagna says that Sydney's got quick hands. She keeps her bat in the zone for long periods of time. When she makes contact, that ball will go flying. Good line drive hitter. Sits on that pitch low again by Gallagher. Gallagher gets the sign from Bowen. 2-2 count here. Inside. Full count here. If you're Gallagher, this is the moment where you wonder, are you throwing a strike here to Sydney, or are you trying to get her to chase outside of the zone? We've seen Gallagher do a little bit of both here today. Winds up for the pitch, throws her right down the middle. Sydney ropes one over to the left side foul, and Sandin will do it again. good thing to see from these hitters, and we've seen it from both sides today. They like to foul off a good chunk of pitches. Even if you're in a full count or you're down 0-2, 1-2, foul off the pitches until you get something good to hit fair. And coach calls time. We've got a ball onto the field here. Probably a Beacons pitcher warming up either to come in for the 7th inning or to start game 2. Coach Eric Ramey heads up play there, calling out a time. And Sandin hits another one foul. Good battle here between a sophomore and a freshman. Multiple ways to have a good and productive at-bat. Obviously a hit, sac fly, anything like that. But if you get the pitcher to throw you 7 or 8 pitches, get her to see a little bit more, that's also considered a very good at-bat. Sydney Sandin here on what I believe is going to be the 9th pitch of this at-bat. Really making Gallagher work. That's a very productive at-bat here from the sophomore. Obviously, the Beacons would love to see her get on base, but even if she happens to not, sure, Coach Ardagna will tell her that she did a good job when she gets into the dugout. Gallagher ready for the pitch. And throws a ball, and Sydney ropes one into left field. Gets her first collegiate hit here in the bottom of the 6th inning to keep the Beacons rolling with 2 outs. Nice line drive right over the third baseman's head into left field. And we are going to have a timeout called here by Coach Bartley. So UMass Boston wants to talk over exactly what they're going to do. They've got a lefty slapper up at bat in Brittany Burkett, who's 2 for 2 today with a double and a single in the form of a bunt. And while Coach Bartley calls a timeout with his team, Coach Eric Ramey is going to make a pitching change. So Katie Gallagher's day is done. They will bring in number 8, Olivia Joy. Olivia Joy, a sophomore right-hander from Greenfield, Massachusetts. At Greenfield High School, threw a 6-inning perfect game as a senior in high school, struck out 12 out of the 18 batters that she faced. Led Greenfield to the Western Mass D2 title as a junior. Reached 500 strikeouts for her high school career midway through April of her senior year. She's got some pretty good stuff here for Castleton. She was supposed to be the number 2 pitcher last year behind Kylie Wright, but obviously no season due to COVID last year. They had a shortened season, Castleton did, playing only 4 or 5 games that year. So we'll see Joy out here in her sophomore year. As a sophomore this year, 6 appearances, tied for first on the team with 4 starts. She's 2-2 with a 3.37 ERA, 30 innings pitched. First on the team, almost twice as many as their number 2 pitcher. She's thrown 3 complete games with 2 saves. And how about this? Olivia Joy has thrown 20 strikeouts to only 1 walk. Pretty remarkable, no matter how many games or innings you've thrown, to be able to strike out 20 batters and only walk 1 of them. She will probably throw many strikes here. Burkett's got good speed, can drop down a bunt, can slap, can hit. Sandin, good speed on first base as well. Beacons with 2 outs here. Third baseman Kayla Flack playing in a little bit. Shortstop Katie LePan playing farther back. Burkett swings at the first pitch. Misses here, and Joy starts off her appearance ahead of the count. Paquette slaps that one foul. UMass Boston down 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runner on first. 2 outs. Paquette holds on that pitch there. You're seeing a little bit more speed here from Olivia Joy than we saw with Katie Gallagher. It's a good mix-up for the Spartans here. Beacon's batter is going to have to adjust to the different style of play that Joy brings. And Paquette swings at that one, misses, and that will be out number 3 for the Spartans. So Olivia Joy comes into the game, does exactly what she is told to do and wants to do. Gets the 3rd out here for the Spartans. Castleton still up 4-2. Top of the 7th inning coming up next. Welcome back here to UMass Boston. And we have a pitching change for the Beacons as well. So Haley Catania goes 6 full innings, top of the 7th here. Emily Doble, freshman right-hander out of Danvers, Massachusetts. Went to Danvers High School, played softball, track, and field. She finished 6th in the girls' shot put in the Northeastern High School Conference Championship meet. Won the middle school division title in 2015. Doble, somebody who's going to give a little bit of a different look here from Catania. Beacon saying that Emily has really stepped up. And when she gets into a groove, when she's pitching, she's a real threat on the mound. Beacon say that she's got a really good screwball there. Look to see that, and a couple of the players here from Castleton maybe can jam a couple of players, throw nice outside pitches to lefties. We'll see how she faces up at the top of the order here for the Spartans. Number 11, Katie LePan, steps up to the plate. And starts off her collegiate debut with the ball low into LePan. LePan last time up had an RBI double. Doble gets her first strike here, evening out the count to 1-1. LePan with an RBI double, scoring Jana Ryan. We're getting a timeout here by home plate umpire Ron Vargas. He's going to go over and have a talk with Doble. I believe they just called an illegal pitch here on Emily Doble. Can't see another reason why the home plate umpire would go out and talk to her. You see that screwball there from Doble, just a little high. 3 balls, 1 strike count here to LePan. Doble with the ball low. Gets a walk on over to LePan. So the Spartans getting started early here in the 7th inning, looking to extend their lead. Olivia Bowen will step in now for the Spartans. Looking for a bunt there, foul. Trying to move LePan over to second base. Doesn't get great contact there on that ball, Bowen does. Could also be the spin that Doble puts on her pitches. Oftentimes when you're trying to bunt and a pitcher's got really good speed, you have to have good bat control in order to not let that ball either pop up or roll foul. Doble, somebody who has more spin than speed. And she gets a bunt down. Ruggiero makes a play over to first where Danahy is, gets the out. Lead runner advances over to second base. So Olivia Bowen does her job. Bunts LePan on over to second. One out here on the top of the seventh. Miranda Fish up now for the Spartans. Rounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. Flew out to center in the third. And flew out to the shortstop in the fifth. Looking to get her first hit of the day here for the Spartans. Doble with the pitch. Great pitch inside there. See that screwball the Beacons were talking about. Really dealing batters inside, trying to jam them up. Ahead in the count here for the freshman, 0-2. Coach Ardagna calling out her pitches. See what she wants her freshman to throw. A little bit of junk here down low. Great stop by Tam Landry there. Got to have a really sound catcher behind the plate. If you're going to trust your pitchers, throwing a couple change-ups, drop balls, anything low in the dirt. You're not going to throw those pitches if you don't trust your catcher, and I think the Beacons do trust their catcher. Mixing it up there is Doble. Threw one low, now one high. Trying to get the batter's eye to get a little confused here. Fish doing a good job of holding off on both of those pitches, not swinging at any junk that she doesn't want. And she swings at one here. Ruggiero catches it, watches the runner. Shouldn't say catches it, more so fields it there on that ground ball. Fields that hit there by Fish. Good job again by Kaylee Ruggiero, checking that runner back to second base, making the throw just in time to get Miranda Fish out. Now, when you're a third baseman who's got a good arm like Ruggiero does, you have enough time to look that runner back and still be able to make that throw with confidence. This brings up Michaela Arjevic. Inside pitch goes for a ball. Two outs here on the top of the seventh. And that's a called strike there on Arjevic. Arjevic grounded out into a double play in the first inning. Singled to left center in the fourth and also in the sixth. Scored a run so far this game as well. Good day for her up at the plate today. Is ahead of the count, 2-1. A ball there. Arjevic with a good swing, hits it foul behind the plate to even the count to 2-2. Doble winds up. A little high there out of the zone. Arjevic, good job of holding and not swinging at anything she doesn't see appropriate to her eye. Full count here. Katie LePan on second base. 2 outs for the Spartans. Emily Doble payoff pitch here. Arjevic swings at it. Tori DeCenzo seems to have a beat on it. If it stays fair, makes the catch. Good job there by senior first baseman Tori DeCenzo. Keeping herself in play, making that catch, and getting her team out of what could have been a sticky situation here, holding the Spartans to just 4 runs in this game. Last chance for romance here for the Beacons. See if they can tie this game or walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning here for the Beacons. Kaylee Ruggiero, top of the lineup here for UMass Boston. Going into the bottom of the 7th inning, that's exactly who you want up. You're top of the order, trying to produce a couple of runs here. Beacons down, 2-run deficit here in this game. Ruggiero, so far, a walk, fly out, and a single. She's trying to dig out that single there and gets it. Runs over to second base, and she will earn her way over to second base. Allie Almond trying to field that slow roller barehanded. Too hard of a throw there for her first baseman, Bowen, to make a grab. Ruggiero, great hustle down the line, trying to add a little bit more pressure to Almond's throw. Ball goes out of play. Ruggiero ends up on second base. Senior Kelly Danahy stepping up to the plate. Danahy swings at the first pitch she sees. A little low there by Joy. Danahy swings at that pitch, leans over to left field, and Ruggiero's gonna score. Danahy ends up at second base, slides in safe. Kelly Danahy poking that ball over to left field, just under the reach of the left fielder, Jana Ryan. Seemed like Ryan wanted to dive for it, ended up not doing so. Kept the ball in front of her though. Danahy with some good speed. Ruggiero getting swung out by Josh Bartley, scoring, standing up. 2 runs scored today by Kaylee Ruggiero. Danahy with a stand-up double. This brings up Tam Landry, catcher for the Beacons. A 4-3 game here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Tam Landry swings at that over to right field, then that's going to drop, and it's going to get more bases than just one. Tam Landry comes into second. She's going to hold up. Great throw there by Fish in right field, but Tam Landry, good pop off that bat, scores Kelly Danahy, and we have ourselves a tie game. This is exactly what you want from the top of your lineup in any team. You get your leadoff to get on base. She gets more than just one, ends up at second. Kelly Danahy pops one into left field, goes with the pitch. We've seen that from Danahy, we've seen that from Landry. Both getting outside pitches, not trying to pull it, not trying to do too much. Put your bat on the ball, you know you have enough power. Pop it into the opposite field. Danahy scores Ruggiero. Landry scores Danahy. And if you're the Spartans, this is not what you want here in the bottom of the 7th inning. No outs, tie game. Bree Melchionda up at the bat right now. She's got a triple to her name today already. And I think they might intentionally walk her. Bowen standing, not kneeling. And yes, they will. What a way to hold your head high if you're a freshman here in your first collegiate game and you're getting intentionally walked. So Melchionda won't have an opportunity to be the hero here today. She will get intentionally walked 4 pitches. And they would instead rather pitch to Drew Washington. Strikeout in the first, flew out to left in the 4th, and a triple and a run scored in the 6th inning. And Eric Ramey will pull his infield in. Wants to chat about what they're going to do with Drew Washington. So let's recap here the bottom of the 7th and exactly what happened. Kaylee Ruggiero steps up, punches a little roller over to the second baseman. Allie Almond mishandled it. Too much of a hard throw over to first, so Ruggiero ends up on second, ball going out of play. Kelly Danahy pokes one into left field with an RBI double, scoring Ruggiero. Tam Landry hits a hard hit ball into right field. Scores Danahy. Landry with an RBI double. Spartans choose to intentionally walk Bree Melchionda. They'll face Drew Washington instead. Now, if you're the Spartans here, the important run is Tam Landry right now. You want to keep her on second base. Even if she gets to third, you got to keep her from touching home base here. Drew Washington, all she really needs to do is just try to poke that ball into the outfield. I would assume that with the speed Landry has, Josh Bartley would probably send her home, depending on exactly where Drew Washington hits. If you're a senior, this is the exact moment you want to be in right now. First ball low here from Joy. Second pitch here from Olivia Joy. And a strike in. Drew Washington, a slow roller. LePan fields it. Washington safe at first base. Bases loaded for UMass Boston. Bottom of the 7th. Another senior stepping up here in Tori DeCenzo. At this point, you'll take what you can get if you're the Beacons. You don't need to hit a crushing ball at this point. Coach Natalia Ardagna talking to home plate umpire Ron Vargas. Probably going to see a pinch runner here for Washington. And she's not even the important run. If they score Landry, they win on a walk-off. And we will see. It is Bella Nadeau pinch running here for Drew Washington. Nadeau, a freshman middle infielder from North Smithfield, Rhode Island. She's a switch hitter, went to Mount St. Charles Academy, where UMass Boston men's hockey coach Peter Belisle have coached there for years. Her dad, Steve, is a football coach and a high school athletic director in Rhode Island as well. So Nadeau getting some action here. As a freshman, DeCenzo steps up to the plate. Strike out her last at bat. And swings at that pitch. Foul clipped right into Bowen. This is a familiar feel for Tori DeCenzo. In 2019 against Castleton, she hit a walk-off in Game 1 of 2019. Walk-offs is not new for Tori here. She swings at that pitch, high fly ball into right field. Fish will make the catch. Landry will tag, throw home, not in time! Beacons win it on a walk-off sac fly from senior first baseman Tori DeCenzo. Scores Tam Landry, and how about that? First game back in 715 days for UMass Boston. They win it in walk-off fashion here at the Clark Athletic Field. And it's been a whirlwind here for today's game. We will take a break real quick and come back with all the updates for this game. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 7th inning. What a whirlwind it was here in Game 1. Beacons coming out on top, as you see there on your screen. Castleton, 4 runs off 7 hits, 3 errors. That was the biggest thing here, the biggest difference. You see on the bottom there of your screen, Beacons, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. We got RBIs in the bottom of the 7th inning from Kelly Danahy, Tam Landry, and the walk-off sac fly from Tori DeCenzo. Great job of Tam Landry getting on base, scoring that winning run there for the Beacons. So we will get ready for Game 2 right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. We'll see what this brings for the Beacons, opening up LEC play here, starting off the season strong, 1-0. Castleton so far falling 3-4 in LEC play. Come back in about 20 to 25 minutes to get ready for Game 2. I'm Gigi Braga. You're watching the Beacons Broadcast Network.